Well, we've listened to ambassadors from many nations, many areas, different backgrounds. People that know me know that I'm a busy guy. I'm constantly on the go. I'm on the go right now. You know what I mean? But we have to make time for the things that are important. And so let me just say this. Listening to REA, number one, very impressed, extremely excited to hear more of what you have to say and to develop a communications with you so that we can share information, share knowledge, and start to, share some of the things that I'm seeing here in America, East Coast, rural Appalachia, America, different areas, because what the American may think in California or New York City is a lot different than what the Americans thinking and seeing in rural Appalachia or in, say, the southern states, down into Georgia and Alabama and Arkansas. And I have a lot of folks in those areas that are extremely interested in understanding, what is going on outside of my little burg, my little town, my little community. And this is the way we get that information out. We share it. Um, I loved how you asked, define the enemy. See, I love that. So, and I agree with the definition of the enemy is anyone that opposes freedom, liberty, but also there is a very clear and present enemy force movement in what what we look at is political ideologies. Liberalism used to not be a bad thing. It used to be a very good thing. People, a liberal was someone that looked out for the working class citizen. It was someone that spoke up, against, oppression and tyranny. And at one time, even our founding fathers were considered to be radical liberals. But that's changed. That pendulum, as Greg had said, has swung so far over, and we have extremes on the left and we have extremes on the right as well. And I'm more of a right, of definitely a right of center person that still believes and dreams in the ability to be able to, for people to be able to have civil conversation and work things out in the ballot box and not the cartridge box. But that's been said too, and that's been done in the past as well, to where people stand up and they have to sometimes make a statement. And I make a statement here in my little community, as do most of the people that live here, that some of these things that we see occurring, the violence, the excessive, these smash and grabs that are occurring. Now look at all of those people doing that. 99.99% of them are young people. Young people. Let's just take out anything about race, anything about sex. Let's just look at they are young people. They are 16, 15 to maybe 20 years old. And they get into a gang and they go into a store and they just run in and they steal everything they can and they run out. We've all seen it. This is a product of a breakdown in the what they call the nuclear family. You know, the man, the woman, it's gone. It's not totally gone, but it is gone to a point to where, especially in large inner cities, we see smash and grabs, which are the product of taking away things like, promoting good, solid family values. Like, for instance, Greg likes to talk about us sitting down at the table, and I hear Val say that as well on this radio show. Well, realistically, how many Americans are sitting down at a dinner table to enjoy a meal? Let's just not stop in America. Let's go into Canada. Let's go into the UK. Let's go around these English speaking civilized nations that used to have that. It's missing. And it's missing because either we're all too busy, caught up trying to work to make a living, or one of the two is absent. The mother or the father is absent. And then they go to school and they get just blasted. Like you said, they've all got a screen in front of their face. They've got a phone, they got an iPad, they got a computer, they got a something. And they're watching all of this stuff. I don't have mom and dad to be able to talk to about this because we don't sit down and have dinners and talk about important things. Look, I've raised 8 children and I have 2 kids that are home. And every day, either I or my wife takes them to school, and every day we pick these 2 up, that the last 2 that are living at the house, and we ask always, how was your day? How did it go? And we have these conversations. Now, we're very fortunate because we have that, but not everyone's able to do that. Our kids go to public school, so we get to hear all of the nonsense that goes on in some of these public schools. But fortunately, we live in a smaller area where we don't have a lot of that. So most of the teachers that are there grew up in this area, and we have very similar values. But we are very cognizant of the fact that that does not exist anywhere else in this world. So we, as in all of us that are on here, however old you are, however young you are, we're adults. We are the adults that need to be in the room all the time. And we need to be able to have these conversations. And when you get with people, like I deal with people around here, especially in this political arena, that they're just jerks. Okay, there's just no other way to deal with it. There's no way to have a conversation. They are absolutely hell bent on this, that, mainly self promotion. When I find somebody that is just a rude, foul, ignorant person, they're trying to self promote themselves. They're trying to do something, for themselves. They're very insecure in their own abilities to do anything. So we have that because we're in this tech age, and I think clearly we have another enemy in that. And how you deal with that enemy is you communicate this stuff to those that you are with. So if someone does that, and you get to a point to where you finally just have had enough, it's okay to shut them down, to push them away, or to ignore them because they're going to suck the oxygen out of every show that you have because you're on this radio show and you're trying to promote something good. And this jerk is going to continuously suck up all your time just arguing about something trivial or meaningless or just hurling insults. And that is one thing that